give some tips that actually helped me on the day. I was thinking about just typing it out like I did with Coach Wendy's, but some of the thought process behind each tips I believe would be helpful. And if it's not, no worries, just fast forward, I don't care. But yeah, so I already met with the 11:15 group, and I'll be meeting again with the 8 o'clock group and just be adding to this list a little bit. But I started off the 11:15 group with just asserting that I had no idea I was going to pass. I actually went into the exam preparing myself to not see the word pass on my results. And what I mean by preparing myself is I was telling myself, congratulations, Lindsay, you're here, you made it to sitting for this exam. This is your success, that you're actually willing and have the courage to sit here yet again to take this exam. You've already fallen on your sword twice. And the third time is going to be painful, but you know what it's like, and you know to be kind to yourself. And I just want to congratulate you for just having the courage to come and sit. So you did that. Congratulations. You're a licensed therapist. You're just here to get a paper. The next thing I wrote down on that down on my scratch paper. I said, congratulations, Lindsay. You're here. You did it. You're licensed. You're just here to get a paper. You can do this. And another thing that I wrote down was something that was very helpful, and that was 3 actions. And that's when you get to a question, you read it, you answer it, you mark it if it's not quite something you're sure of, and then you let it go. So I wrote down answer it, comma, mark it, comma, and let it go. And then under that, in the process to help letting go of a question that I'm not quite sure about the answer, I just say, I'm going to answer this with my best intuitive judgment. And then that's the act of letting go. So the thing that I wanted to add to Coach Wendy's list is that when I sat down for the exam, just like I had sat in my car outside the exam room for an hour and ate half of my snack, I came into the testing site and I went to the restroom and I did some power poses. And then I came back out and I went and I sat through for the exam. When I first sat down, I did an act of grounding myself to where I was sitting. I was stretching, I was looking around in the little cubicle area. I was tapping my knee, every alternate knee, just to stay grounded, just to be like, Lindsay, if you ever feel like you're not grounded, you can do, like, pretty much training myself, like, these are the techniques you do when you feel like your brain is running away again. And so that's a tip. Another thing that I did was I bookended each question. So at the very beginning of a question, I would close my eyes and I would say, good morning, my name is Lindsay Guichard, licensed marriage and family therapist working for the BBS. Thank you so much for coming in. This has been very helpful. And then I open my eyes and I read the question. And I answer the question. I do the answer it. And if I'm just answering it with my best intuitive judgment and I want to mark it down on the paper, I marked it and let it go. Then, when I'm done with the question, I say, thank you, client, or thank you, person, question. That's very puzzling, and I hope we can get you all the help you need. Thank you so much for coming in. I did some variation of that bookmark for every single question. Then at question 35, I took a nano break, and that was the stretch. Looking away. Excuse me. looking away, just kind of like getting my brain out of the questions just for a little bit, not obnoxious or anything, but just a little second, and then I lean back in and I get back in, I close my eyes and I say that prompt again. And I forgot to add, when I'm saying the prompt with my eyes closed, I put my hand on my chest just to get me back grounded, and then open up with fresh eyes to see the next question. I believe I marked 20 at the most, and those were the ones that I felt like there was a answer of uncertainty. And then I gave myself permission to, after letting them go, I can always come back to you at the end of the exam. At the end of the exam, I had 10 minutes and I did not go back. I tried to go back for one of them, but it was not easy. It doesn't it doesn't take you automatically to the number you want. You have to press back all the way, and each time the computer is catching up. So I decided that my brain had enough at the end of 4 hours, and that I was just gonna keep them gone, because you don't know if you answered those correctly. You just know that you had a question about them. So that's another thing, is like, do you really change something when, but anyway, so I digress. I just want to make sure that I hit all of the okay. So the last thing that I wanted to share was that I, again, did not think I was going to pass. I didn't have any inclination. I didn't tell myself I was going to fail. It's more like I was breaking it down even more. Baby steps, if you will, with each question. And when I broke it down that way with the closing of my eyes, and thank you so much, this is very helpful. My gratitude made it a different type of test. It wasn't a test. It was me showing up for my clients. And I said, I'm glad we were able to help you today, even if the question was wrong. It wasn't about getting the right answer. It was about what's going to help this person. And that's what I did. And I had the joy of receiving my results from the same person. I had received the other type of result twice before, but this time it was different. He slid over the paper, and I was very much expecting a different answer, and it was going to be okay. I was going to reset for another 120 days, and I wasn't going to worry about nobody could be disappointed with me at this point, because I had already, nobody really was. I just couldn't worry about people being disappointed in me. I had to worry about other things. And that's the wrong point. I had to focus my energy on other things. And so when he slid over that I had passed, I was like, no. What? No. Wait, what? No. And he said, have a good night. And I said, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I was shocked. And I'm kind of a little bit still in shock. I fully expected to restart again for another 120 days and to keep checking in with the group. So that's how my experience went. I got in my car and I texted my husband right away. And the thing about texting my husband is I knew that if he saw a photo of my past picture, that he'd believe it right away, that there would be no reason for him to doubt. And so I texted him my picture, And apparently when he got my picture, he stood up in the middle of his office and did a whole, "She passed!" And nobody knew what he was talking about. But he was so excited. And then I ended up texting all of my other family members, and they all had, I saw them a week later, or I saw them a couple of days later, and they all had their own reaction stories of, you know, when they found out that I passed. And so that was sweet. Oh geez, I feel like I could go on, and this is getting to 11 minutes. So I'm sure there's more, and I'll be meeting with the group tonight to add anything else that would be helpful.